afternoon, boys and girls. It's Ms.Mine from 4B. I miss you guys very much. Today we're going to read a story that is called It Wasn't My Fault. So we're going to do this like we usually do in class, and I want you guys to answer the questions. What is a title? Let's think. A title is the name of a book. Good job. What is an author? An author is the person who writes the book. And what is an illustrator? An illustrator is the person who draws the beautiful pictures in a book. So this story is called It Wasn't My Fault by Helen Lester. It is illustrated by Leanne Moonsinger. What can this story be about if it wasn't my fault? I want you guys to listen carefully and imagine and think. Things did not always go well for Murley Gerson. He couldn't control the toothpaste, he fell into wastebaskets, and he dropped only valuable vases. Whatever happens, it was usually his fault. One day, he went for a walk in his one too big new shoe. He had stepped out of the other one. He couldn't remember where. Were your shoes ever too big that it fell off your feet? Before long, someone laid an egg on Murley Gerson's head. He looked at a nearby bird. "Did you lay an egg on my head?" he asked. "I did," confessed the bird, "but it wasn't my fault. A horrible aardvark screamed and scared me." Now, based on the animals talking, is this a fiction or a non-fiction book? This is a fiction book because animals can't talk. So Murley Gerson and the bird went to see the aardvark. "Did you scream and scare the bird into laying an egg on Murley Gerson's head?" they asked. "I did," he confessed, "but it wasn't my fault. A nasty pygmy hippo stepped on my tail and a scream just popped out." Together they went to find the hippo. "Did you step on the aardvark's tail, making him scream and scare the bird into laying an egg on Murley Gerson's head?" they asked. "I did," confessed the hippo, "but it wasn't my fault. I did it by accident when I was getting out of the way of a hopping shoe with long ears." "A what?" they all asked. "Can shoes hop?" "No." What are some animals that can hop that we can think about? I know two animals that I am already thinking about. What's yours? Let's think. A bunny or a rabbit and a kangaroo. But then along came a hopping shoe with long ears. With a pull and a tug, they soon found that the ears were attached to a rabbit. "It wasn't my fault," the rabbit explained. "I was hopping along when I landed in that shoe and I became stuck." The shoe looked very much like the new too big shoe Murley had stepped out of some time ago. In fact, it was. Murley thought, The rabbit became stuck in my shoe and frightened the hippo, who stepped on the aardvark's tail. And the aardvark screamed and scared the bird into laying an egg on my head. Then I suppose it was my fault, Murthy Gerson said very sadly. 2 tears splashed onto his 2 big new shoes. There, there, said the hippo, the rabbit, the bird, the aardvark. Don't cry. It was my fault, said the bird. It was my fault, said the aardvark. It was my fault, said the hippo. I think it was the shoe, said the rabbit. Let's go back to your house and do something about that egg. They all went into the kitchen, and the aardvark turned Murthy Gerson upside down, and the egg plopped into a pan. What do you think he's going to do with the egg if he plopped it into a pan? The rabbit grounded the pepper. The hippo added a pinch of salt. The bird ran around the bird ran around and around in the pan, doing a fine job of scrambling. Who likes scrambled eggs? Murthy Gerson enjoyed every bite of his scrambled egg. Murthy thanked his friends. He went to the door to let them out, and what do you think's going to happen? It wasn't his fault. Something else fell on his head.